Well, everybody, I'm back and really excited about it. I have a superstar in the house today. He wouldn't call himself that, but I am. We have Mr. George Solomon. He is a former hedge fund manager, but he's now, I'm going to call him a spiritual prosperity coach who helps others overcome obstacles standing in the way of their financial freedom. He's written so many books. In 2021, he published Personal Money Management bestseller Infinite Love and Money with Molly Singh. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Joel. In 2019, he published The Nine Money Rules Millionaire Use, Only the Unconventional Ones, which was also a bestseller in both self help and personal finance. He's a bad boy. Y'all see that. In 2018, he published Mindful Money Management Memoirs of a Hedge Fund Manager, which was also a bestseller. OMG. He's an award winning TED Talk speaker and a frequent podcast guest, but he's a very spiritual man who really desires to help all of us walk in more abundance. So, Joel, welcome back to the Law of Attraction Radio Network.
Constance, thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor. I was just talking about you with someone in my network, and I'm like, she is the real deal. So if there's any way you can get on her show, get on her show, because she is helping people every day create abundance and prosperity and changing their mindsets and attracting every day, which is awesome. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So if anybody's looking at this, I did something to my dim light on my computer, but y'all can see my blonde hair. So here we go, Joel. So Joel, we're going to be talking about money miracles, but I want you to share a little bit about your latest experiences. You spent time with Joe Dispenza and then Abraham Hicks. Let's talk about what that experience was like for you and how in the world does meditation and all of that stuff relate to money and abundance?
No, all great questions. So yes, in November of 2023, I attended Dr. Joe Dispenza's advanced retreat, and it was intense. He lectures for half the time, and then you meditate for half the time. It was approximately 5 hours a day of meditation.
Mm.
And I'm not an expert in meditation. I'm more of a student and a teacher,
Mhm.
although I did have one chapter in the first book, Mindful Money Management, on meditations. I've been meditating a while. The difference with Dr. Joe's meditations are they have a purpose. And generally, each meditation purpose is to connect with source energy, consciousness, if you want to call it God, whatever the term you want to use, the universe. The idea is to connect, because when you do connect with higher consciousness, then you're in flow. You're connecting with another energy source, which we can't see. We operate in five senses. And yet there is this sixth sense, intuition, our higher self, that when we can meditate, and he talks specifically about getting your energy up to your, some people say your pineal gland is here. He actually says it's the back of the head, and it's been shown. He did a video showing where the actual pineal gland is, but the pineal gland becomes a radio transmitter when you move your energy up to it, and that radio transmitter is transmission to source energy. And so you're connecting with source energy by moving your energy up from the lower energy centers to the pineal gland, and then up to the seventh energy chamber, and then the eighth, which is actually about 16 inches above your head. And so the whole idea is you can create anything when you're connected to source, because it's infinite, right? And so you can create abundance and health and wealth and whatever you want in this three-dimensional reality. And so that's what Dr. Joe teaches. A lot of enlightenment that week, a lot of how would I say, getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that you didn't think would ever be possible. That's what that week was about. And then, spending some time with Abraham Hicks, which Esther channels Abraham, which is uh, an entity, a consciousness. And there's so much enlightenment there in just 3 or 4 hours. But as we were talking about before we got on the show, for me, it's so powerful, the information you're getting from Abraham, the enlightenment on abundance, on relationships, on teaching, on career, on wealth and health. But also it was just being in that environment with 900 or 1,000 people who are vibrating way up here. Most people on this earth are not vibrating way up here
Mm-hmm.
in Abraham's language. The emotional guidance scale, number one is joy, love, passion, gratitude, appreciation, and abundance and prosperity. And so you can't get to those levels from down here if you're vibrating, because everything is frequency. If you're vibrating down at sadness or worry or fear, that's a lower level vibration. And abundance and gratitude and appreciation and prosperity are up here. And so being in that environment with 900 or 1,000 other people who are vibrating up here, you're creating from a place that's, you know, abundant and prosperous. So
Yeah.
those were a little bit of the learnings, just a couple of minutes in short.
So if you see Joel just kind of floating around because he's been in those higher dimensions, and one way that I say it, just for listeners, is that you're one with God, one with spirit, one with all there is. And if you are, that means you're one with abundance. You are abundance. And so we're going to be talking about money miracles. We're getting close to Christmas, y'all. And a lot of people are believing in the miraculous. So before we get to that, do you believe that when people are really connected with God's source, infinite intelligence, that they don't have to work so hard on the outside to attract to get money? What's your take on that, Joel?
Absolutely. I do believe that you don't need to work so hard. In fact, the signature in my email is don't work hard and become financially free. Don't work hard and become financially free. Most people, in fact, I was taught this growing up by my parents, and my grandparents taught my parents, and my great grandparents taught my great grandparents that you have to work hard. You have to work really, really hard to be rich and successful. It's not true. Now, I'm not saying don't work at all. I'm saying take inspired action. You have to take some action. We're in this three-dimensional world. So you have to move in somewhere, something. You have to get on a podcast with Constance, right? You have to do something. You can't just sit at home and meditate and visualize all day. Okay, you need to get out into the world. This world is about connection and relationships, right? And it's a relationship with God and consciousness and source energy, but it's also a relationship with other people. You want to interact with others and enjoy and experience, and that's the highest vibration, right? Joy and passion and gratitude and appreciation. When you're appreciating others, that's when you create abundance. And so I tell my clients, I don't know any billionaires who just sit at home and meditate and visualize all day, right? They get out into the world, they take action, but they're taking inspired action because they have a purpose. Like my purpose is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. I figured that out a few years ago. It took me about 50 years to figure that out, but that's my purpose on this earth. And so I get out there and I want to help people every day. If I was just meditating and visualizing, I'm not doing my purpose. So, but the point being, yes, when you're connected with source, it's not this, it's this, it's flow, it's energy, right? You're connected with that energy that creates worlds, as Abraham says. So when you're connected with that energy that creates worlds, it's not like I got to move matter, I got to move all this. It's you feeling good, you're feeling grateful, you're feeling inspired, and then you talk to somebody like Constance, and then the world just opens up for you, and that's how it works.
So true. And you mentioned that you have a group that has manifested. Talk about that, and then we're going to get into money miracles.
Yeah, so my group is actually called the Money Miracles Membership, and I started it 2 years ago, September of 2021. So if you're watching this in 2023, about 2 years ago, and I didn't have any expectations. I just want to help people. And I created 7 hours worth of videos, recorded them so people can watch them. I drop 5 to 10 videos each month over a 6 month period. And the idea is to go from wherever you are towards financial freedom. And then I added 21 guest experts talking everything about abundance, the specifics, the material things like digital marketing and how to tap into the equity in your business, and so on and so forth. We have a hypnotist who created an abundance, self hypnosis abundance audio, stuff like that. And we have a community of people. We meet every week. I answer any question they have on mindset, on manifestation, on investing in stocks or real estate, whatever they're interested in. And there's a Facebook group. There's rewards where you could win one-on-one coaching with me, or win one of my books, or win one of my group courses. And so they get points for doing different things like watching the videos or attending the Q&A. And the members, the punchline is members have manifested $1,769,000 in 2 years.
Wow.
That's what is really mind-blowing to me. And if you had told me about any of the money that has come into these people for these people, I would have said you're high. Like, how? But each one is a complete surprise. Like, somebody told me about how he had lost his job and came to the membership and was really wanted to start his own company. He didn't know how he's going to start his own company, but he believed that he had an idea for this company. He was in real estate, and he started watching the videos, coming to the Q&As, and within 3 weeks of joining the membership, he had a lawyer from a company he worked at 23 years earlier, and an email from this lawyer saying, we need to contact you. Can you please respond to this email or give us a call? He responded to the lawyer's call, and the lawyer said, the company you worked for 23 years ago, it got acquired. You had options, they vested, and they're worth $322,000.
Wow.
That's a money manifestation, complete.
Wow. So let's talk about money miracles. What would that look like for listeners? And I'll just let you go through steps. I mean, do you have to change your mindset? So tell us, how can we manifest money miracles?
So again, the first step is you do need to take some action. Like, he got out into the world, he started watching my videos, he signed up for my membership. He did things. He didn't just sit at home and pray. He didn't just visualize and meditate. He got into the world, he started doing things. And I've obviously had to work for that company earlier. So number one in the 9 money rules that I teach is when you believe.
Mhm.
If you don't believe in miracles, if you don't believe that money can come from 1,000 different ways, I got on a call with a woman last year, and she said to me, I was telling her about a process I teach on money manifestation. And she said, Joel, how in God's name am I going to manifest any money in the next 3 weeks? I'm not working. I'm going to spend time with my family. And I said, oh my God. So it doesn't have to just come from the work. You've already asked, as Abraham says, you've asked,
Mhm.
the universe has already answered. It's just allowing. So you have to get out into the world, take some action, and allow and believe that it's possible, right? It's thinking, it's believing, and then it's manifesting, right? That's the name of the show, right?
Okay.
So you have to think, but you have to believe it. You have to believe that you're capable and worthy of the wealth. right? Some people come to me and said, like, this woman's like, well, there's no way any money could flow to me when I'm not working. Well, that's a limiting belief, right? You've put out there, you've asked in the past for a certain amount of money, for a certain amount of things to come to you, material things, a vacation home or a dream car, a dream house. You've asked already. The universe has already answered. But the reason why it's not here in the physical reality is because you're resisting. You don't believe it. You're not acting as if. So suppose I come to you and I say, hey, I have this program where my members have averaged over $40,000 of money manifested. So one, you have to believe that that's true. And
Mm-hmm.
two, what could you do to act as if the money is already coming? Maybe you have this idea that you want to go to Tahiti. You could research and see how much the flight would be. You could research how much the cruise would be about around Bora Bora and the other islands. You don't have to spend any money, but you could act as if it's about to happen. Maybe you could ask a friend, hey, I'm thinking about going. Would you be interested? And then tally up what the cost might be. And maybe, who knows, maybe somehow, somebody gifts it to you. But it's acting as if what you want to happen has already happened or is about to happen, and then taking the action steps as if it's already happened.
Let me share a quick story. Most of the people know that I had to put my dog to sleep about 8 weeks ago. And even though I was going through my grieving process, I went out in my garage and I said, because I said it's time to travel more now. So I pulled my suitcase out and I set it in my foyer. I just set it there because in my mind, that was my way of acting as if I didn't tell anybody. I didn't say anything. I just began to think about, okay, now my angel is gone. Uh, I'm free to just travel anywhere. So I got a call from a friend of mine, and he said, Constance, I got a business deal I want to talk to you about. He said, uh, I'm gonna me and my wife, we're gonna fly you to Florida and we're going to put you up in a great hotel and we're going to have a business meeting for 3 days. And he said, that'll be good for you to get away. I believe that me putting my suitcase out, and so every time I walk by it, I intentionally I had to walk by it. I mean, about 10 times a day, I would touch it and I would say in my mind, we getting ready to go somewhere. And I just started acting as if he called me. So I've already been to Florida, had a great meeting, had a great time, great dinner, connected with some great people just by doing that small thing.
Absolutely. So that acting as if is powerful, right?
Mhm.
But the first is the belief. Like, you believe that by doing that, you're creating the ability to travel.
Right.
And so a lot of my clients, I talk first about what are your limiting beliefs,
Mm.
right? Do you believe you're worthy of massive wealth? And what does that mean to you? And what is massive wealth? For some people, massive wealth means $100,000. And for some people, it means $10 million. And for some people, it means $100 million. So what does massive wealth mean to you? It's a set point from growing up, from what you experienced in your childhood, or maybe even later, what you saw in movies or TV, or what your parents talked about or what friends talked about. There's a set point. I call it a money thermostat.
Mm.
And a lot of my clients have money thermostats that are set quite low. And in fact, one of my clients said to me, I can manifest a dime, a nickel, a dollar, $20, no worries. All the time. Happens. I think about it, I see a $20 bill on the ground. I can manifest 10, 20 seconds, minutes, hours. But $1,000, that's really hard.
Mm.
And I said to her, well, if you believe it's hard, it's hard. But the same energy that created the $10 or the $20 creates 1,000 if
That's
you believe
good.
it. It's just energy. Money is just energy. Everything's just atoms vibrating, as Dr. Joe talks about, right? We're all just vibrating. Everything's frequency. And so if you look at it from that point of view, that you're just creating from energy, from frequency, from vibration, then why does $1,000? And by the way, the woman said this on a call at my Money Miracles membership, and another member had been planning to gift somebody $1,000 every quarter. She decided that she was gonna gift a good soul. Her name of her company is Solazari,
Mm.
and she was going to gift, somebody who she saw out there in the universe, being a good soul. She was going to gift $1,000, and she had already decided to give Patty in the summertime $1,000, and they both happened to be on my Money Miracles membership call the same day. They're not on the same day often, and at that end of the call, Tara said, "Patty, you're my soul winner this quarter. You just won $1,000."
Wow.
And so that was the manifestation. What, like, she had like during the call, she had changed her mindset. And of course, this was the other interesting thing about that was this manifestation had already been done. Tara had already like in her mind had said, okay, Patty's the one I'm giving the money to in like July. And it was 3 months later. Patty didn't know that the money was on its way. So it's kind of like you don't know that the abundance is on its way. You don't see it here in the physical world, but it is on its way. And when you drop the resistance and believe, and then you're getting out into the world, Patty had to get on that Money Miracles membership call.
Right.
Chara had to be there too. She had to get out. If she was meditating all day, nothing would have happened. And if she had never joined my membership, she wouldn't have got the $1,000.
So good. So really, this is what I say from the Christian perspective. We've already been given all things, and it is your faith or your energetic faith that brings it to you. In the quantum world, they say all possibilities exist, but if you don't ever think about abundance, then you know what's happening.
Yeah, Dr. Joe has a really powerful meditation called boxes. And the purpose of the meditation is to know that this is a quantum world. Quantum physics exists and we don't see it, right? There's an infinite number of realities, an infinite number of possibilities, as Mike Dooley would say. Infinite Possibilities, his bestseller. And so if you know that, you really believe it, then when you do this meditation, the purpose of the boxes meditation is to say, okay, in this physical reality, I have a problem. I have some lack of health or lack of wealth or lack of relationship, whatever it is. I have quote unquote a problem. But there's another reality that the problem doesn't exist, because there's an infinite number of realities. And of course, there's a reality where you're whole, right? You're not feeling unhealthy. You're not feeling unwealthy. You're not single, you're paired up, whatever if you want to be. And so the purpose of this meditation is to get you to believe in your heart of hearts that there's another reality where whatever your problem is doesn't exist. And if you can, during the meditation, see yourself in that other reality and then bring that other reality to you, then it's going to come quicker. So your problem will dissolve quicker.
Oh, that's good. Woo, that's some good stuff. Anything else people can do to manifest miracles?
Oh, I have so many techniques. I have
Okay,
nine.
give us
Let
about two
me,
or three more. Okay.
okay. So it was interesting that Abraham talked about the budget game, and I teach the budget game. And the budget game is basically if you have any outstanding obligations like credit card debt or student loans or mortgage or personal loans or second mortgage or home equity loan, So what you do is you get out a spreadsheet and you rank order from highest to lowest all the things that you have an outstanding balance, debt outstanding, and then you write in the minimum payment. And at the top of the spreadsheet, I'm not going to get the words exactly right, but it's words to the effect of I, and then you can put your name in, am going to pay all these obligations. And in some cases, I will do twice as much as required. And so what you do is you take the smallest one and you double it. And then the point is what you're, even if you don't have enough, quote unquote, in the physical reality to pay all those expenses, double the smallest one. And what you're telling the world is, you're telling the universe, you're telling conscience is, I got plenty. I believe that more is coming. Abundance is flowing. And even though it looks like in the physical world, I only have this much, I actually have this much. And so, and every time you open up the spreadsheet, you say those words out loud. And every time you go to your mailbox and get a bill, play the game. It's called the budget game. So it makes it fun. Like if you think of it as a game and I'm just playing this game, I want to go to the mailbox, get this bill, and then put it into the spreadsheet. It's just the game, as opposed to, oh, I'm getting another bill. Oh my God. So that's a powerful technique to create abundance. I actually had a client 3 years ago in a group course that I was teaching do this. And in 2 weeks, she manifested $100,000.
Wow, I
2 weeks
believe it.
by playing the game. So that's one. The other powerful one is visualization. Creative visualization is so powerful. Now, again, like I said earlier, it's not just about visualizing. You have to get out into the world and take action, but do both. So I'm not saying don't visualize. So, and don't, I meditate, I visualize, I'm taking action every day. I'm doing all things, but I'm taking inspired action. So let's talk about visualization. So there's 6 steps, and then there's the bonus step. We've already talked a little bit about the bonus step, but let's talk about the 6 steps. Step
Okay.
1 is to find a place that you're going to do it. You want to be consistent. Don't do it in bed right after you get up. You may fall back to sleep, and don't do it right before you're about to go to sleep in bed. So pick a place outside, not in your bed. So your living room, whatever. 2 is pick a time, be consistent. And step 3 is pick the amount of time, 3 to 5 minutes, no more. Step 4 is to write down before you start visualizing the 3 things that you're going to focus on. Then don't link them. So it could be, okay, I'm visualizing a new job, right? Don't say, okay, another one is my dream car and my dream spouse. So I'm going to be driving my dream car to my dream job and I'm going to meet my spouse there. No, it's focus on one thing at a time. So that's step 4. Step 5 may be the most important. It's from Wayne Dyer's Wishes Fulfilled. He said, make your future dream a present reality by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Make your future dream a present reality by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So if you could feel that dream job or that dream vacation now while you're visualizing, really get into the feeling of it. How happy would you be to have that job, to go to Tahiti, right? To experience that. Like how grateful and joyous would you be? So feel that feeling in the visualization. And then it's going to come quicker. And then step 6, which I have a hard time with, is to picture yourself, you're closing your eyes, picture yourself in the experience. You're driving, that blue convertible Maserati Gran Turismo that goes from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, and the top's down, and you got more hair than I do, so your hair is blowing in the wind, and you're just like smiling, and maybe you have your partner next to you, and you're going up here in the Northeast, you're driving up 95 at 95 miles per hour, no cops in the area, and no cars around, and you're just cruising and you're smiling and grateful. So, and you're looking down and you're seeing yourself in the car. That's step 6. And then step 7 is the bonus step, which we've already talked about a little bit, which is visualizing beyond the event. So if you want a new job, right, and you're thinking about the dream job, visualize beyond it. So maybe you're in Manhattan at Cipriani's celebrating with your 30 closest friends in the back room, and the wine is flowing and the lobster and the filet because you got this new job. You're making 10 times you've ever made in your life, and you're celebrating. So it's already happened, right? And that's acting as if it beyond the event. It's not visualizing going to work, it's celebrating it's already done.
That is so good. When we are visualizing, are we rearranging light atoms? I know you said money is energy. What are we doing, Joel? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's you're connecting with a fifth dimension, right? You're closing your eyes and you're picturing what you want to happen. So as Dr. Joe would say, when you can connect with this energy of a different dimension, then the manifestation is much quicker, because the slowest vibration or frequency is matter. And generally 99% of the world is creating from 3D, moving matter to create more matter. And if you're manifesting from 5D, then the manifestation comes quicker.
Okay, Joel doesn't know this, but just week before last, I taught on 3D, 4D, 5D. And 3D is matter pushing matter, which is
Right.
slow, slow, slow. But 5D,
Uh,
meditation is king.
yes. Yes. And that's why Dr. Joe teaches it, right? So that we can get into the state where we're in flow, we're connected to source. By the way, like I think you mentioned this earlier, I didn't really talk about it, but the idea is when you're connected with source, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, there's infinite abundance. There's infinite wealth, there's infinite health. Like it's wholeness, right? It's just you're complete, right? This wholeness. And so if you're truly in a state of connected there, then there's no desires. There's no wants, there's no needs, because you're whole, you're complete. And when you really truly feel that, then all the stuff in this 3D comes, because you're creating from that belief that your source energy, you're the source.
Mhm.
And so then you don't have to rely on other people, other places, other things to create the abundance in your life. You're creating it. And when you really believe it, that's when it comes.
And I've heard Dr. Joe say, the old school of cause and effect, that what you just said, you become whole. I already have all things. I'm not yearning, praying, begging, waiting, because you are.
Right. Right. The two most powerful words in the English language are I am. I am complete. I am whole. Right. Those are the two most powerful words. So when you're doing affirmations, I highly recommend putting in I am. I am financially free. I am a money magnet. I am worthy of massive wealth.
So
And of
good.
course,
Go ahead,
and
Joe.
and of course, the most important thing, there's two ways to create, saying affirmations. One is to say them over and over and over again. I was sick a few weeks ago. I was saying, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, over and over and over again until I really truly believed it, right? 100 times a day, 500 times a day. And that does work, but usually that takes longer than when you're saying things you truly believe. So one of my mentors will say, you go to the supermarket and you're checking out and you're like, wow, that's a big bill. So say, it's a good thing I'm rich. It's a good thing I'm rich. Now, if you don't really believe that at all, you can do that all the time. You go to the supermarket and it will work over time. But what I recommend is softening it and say, like instead of saying, if you don't believe you're a money magnet, say, I'm on my way to becoming a money magnet. Or soften it even more. I allow myself to be a money magnet. And then ask yourself, what is your belief level from 1 to 10 on those other statements? Because if you say I'm a money magnet on a scale of 1 to 10 on the belief scale, where 10 is absolute faith and 1 is massive doubt, and you say I'm a money magnet and you're like, I'm a 3, then you can say it over and over and over again, and you'll start to believe it over some period of time, depending on where your belief level is. But you can soften it and say, I'm on my way to becoming a money magnet. Oh, yeah, I'm an 8. So say that for a few weeks, a few months first. And then I had a client do this when he came to me a few months ago. He was like, I don't believe that. I am on my way to becoming a money magnet. So great. He said that for a while. He's like, Joel, I'm making it stronger. I feel like I am a money magnet now. Like, great. He already manifested some money. He was like, wow, the money's flowing. Yeah, it's working. I believe it.
I'm so glad you said that because I was sharing that with a client, and she'd been in some really distressing places. And I said, why not say, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm learning to become open to the unlimited abundance that is awaiting me. She could believe that. And like you told your client, then you become that, and then you go higher in consciousness.
Exactly. Yeah. Softening it is important, because if you're saying things you don't believe, this is what's happening. Nothing. You're creating massive resistance. Your subconscious, your ego is saying BS all the time. BS, that's BS. And nothing's changing. And BS is not belief systems.
Well, I want to ask you this. I heard Les Brown say, everybody says money can't make you happy, but it's right up there with oxygen. And every time he says it, I just scream laughing. So, can money make you happy? Can
So,
abundance make you happy?
well, rule number 3 in the 9 money rules billionaires use is, can happiness buy you money?
Hmm.
Not can money buy you happiness, can happiness buy you money? It's a rhetorical question, because we talked about vibration earlier. If you're vibrating happy, joy, so ecstatic, that's number 1 on the emotional guidance scale from Abraham, right?
Mhm.
So that's the highest, which is equivalent to abundance and prosperity. So when you're vibrating up there, you're attracting abundance and prosperity, which is awesome. Now, to answer your question directly, I think it's really hard to be ecstatic if you're homeless.
Well, sure.
So, and you can't make other people richer by you being poorer. So I say it's a good thing to be rich. Like, why wouldn't you want to have $10 million in your bank account or in real estate properties and stocks, so that you could give $1 million away a year and help others who are in need? The richer you are, the more you can help others. And in fact, rule number 6 in the 9 money rules is giving.
Yeah.
So it's really important. And so when you're feeling most in lack and scarce, give. And you don't have to
Hmm.
give thousands of dollars, but even if it's a few dollars to the pretzel guy in Manhattan, which I did 2 days ago, and I give him a 200% tip, because I know he's struggling, right? So
Yeah.
he's working his 16-hour days. I saw him last year in January at 2 in the morning, shivering out there. And he's trying to make ends meet that way. And so, like, how can you give? Because giving is so powerful, but you can't give from a place of lack.
So
So you
true.
get richer by, you can't, so being poor is not helping anyone. So that's why I teach prosperity and abundance, because I believe everyone is worthy
Mhm.
of prosperity. We come into this world to thrive, not to survive, to thrive. And then of course we're taught by well-meaning people, our parents, that you have to work really hard, or you can't be spiritual and rich, or these limiting beliefs that they were doing the best they could with what they had. But those aren't truths. And you came here to thrive. And the other thing, which I think is really important, I've been telling a lot of people this, is beliefs are critical. You can believe that people are evil and out to get you, or people are kind, caring, and out to help you. And I know that's the other thing that parents do a lot, is like, be careful of strangers, there's evil people out there. But in my experience, 99% of this world is kind, caring, and out to help me.
That's
And when
true.
you believe that and know that in your heart, that's what you'll find.
Joy, you're so full of wealth and information and revelation and enlightenment and how to's. I love it.
Thank you.
So and you have so much wisdom, and I love your spirit because it's really one of serving and helping. So how can people stay in contact with you? How can they join your group? What about purchasing your books, your website information, all of the above?
So first of all, thank you, Constance,
You're
and thank you for
welcome.
having me again. Um, I My mission is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free, and I love for anyone who's listening right now to be that one of those people. I give everyone in the world 30 minutes free
Mm.
coaching, no obligation to do anything else. And you can find the free coaching on my website. That's salamour.com, SALAURMOR.com. You can sign up for my Money Miracles membership, which prices are going up in 2024. So I won't quote prices depending on when you actually watch this. But check out the website, and you can sign up for the free 30 minutes. You can also get a free video called How to Ease Your Money Worries. If you're feeling worried at all about your money situation, I know during the holidays there's some stress. Just you can sign up for you. If you get on my email list, you'll get that free video along with a lot of other free bonuses. So yes, and then of course you can get my books on my website or on Amazon. I like to highlight this one, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use. But if you're about to be in a relationship, or you're in a relationship and you haven't talked about money, Infinite Love and Money is the one for you. It's an exercise book that Molly Singh and I put together to help people who are in relationships so that there's no divorces or ending of relationship caused by money.
So good. So everybody, I want you to go to Joe's website and you need to join that group. You need to invest in yourself. It's worth the investment. Now he could tell you better than I could on the return on that investment is unlimited. So visit his website, get his books. Like he said, if you're in a relationship, honey, it's about the money, honey. You got to make sure that you're aligned in your thinking. Joel, thank you so much for coming back again. You are amazing. I was mesmerized by some of the things that you were sharing today. And guys, he is the real deal. He is about serving and really teaching you to walk in that flow, in the faith of what I believe God has designed for you. So, Joel, thank you again.
Thank you so much, Constance. It's a real honor and a true pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
So everybody, you create your own reality. You are the God of your own reality. So make a decision this week to just create the best life ever. And like Joy said, make sure you serve and give to others. Have a great week, everybody.